All right, y'all. We back to back with it. So this is gonna be the second intermission, and I named this one alignment. Okay. So, and I don't know if anybody watched my story on Instagram earlier, or because it's gonna be Instagram. Anyway, where I said the words for this month is gonna be alignment and vindication. Okay, and I chose those two words because I say alignment because one thing I've learned throughout my life is that everything happens when it's supposed to happen in regards to timing. You cannot force it to happen before it's meant to happen. It is what it is. Suck it up, Betty. And then vindication. Because like what I had stated in my story, it's not gonna be on my TikTok story, it's gonna be on my Instagram story, where I said I have literally been called a liar my entire life when it has come to this situation. When it's come to me being vocal about everything that I was put through. I have been told I'm exaggerating, I'm a liar, da da da, woo woo woo. Just everybody casting doubt. Or I hate, you know what I hate when people say, I just didn't want to believe it. What do you mean? Do you not know sometimes in the Bible angels have evil moments? So why the fuck you over here talking about this regular ass person can't be capable of this? I don't put nothing past nobody. And if a person's just sitting here, cause no shade, I'm not an actor. I'm not an actor. I have ADHD and BPD. Okay, I'm not good at acting. I'm not good at that. Right? So if a person, especially a person of youth, a child who's just starting life, sitting there and saying, hey, this happened, and then they say the same thing years later when you want to re-question them again because, oh, let's just see if her story switches up. Never has. But hey, I was so deemed a liar because you just didn't want to believe it. I wanted to say something right there, but I'm not. Anyway, nevertheless, let me switch my attitude. When I tell you today has been emotional, I've got in contact with people who I was involuntarily cut off from because the woman gave birth to me. You know why it's crazy what I had said on the phone earlier when I was speaking to my aunt? And when I say my aunt, I'm talking about, so long story short, y'all, me doing this series, it had got to the right people. And my aunt, which is a childhood friend of the woman that gave birth to me, she reached out to me and we was on the phone for hours. And it felt so good. And then right after that, I talked to my blood aunt on my biological grandfather's side that once again I was cut off from. It was emotional. It was wonderful. It was refreshing. I felt right. So let me go back to the part where I said this is vindication because like I said, throughout the years, my truth has never changed. Ever. Literally. From descriptions to people to events to the sequence, it has not changed. I just had at the time people around me that casted me as a liar in their life. That's it. That's the only difference. And I still, once I was no longer underneath the control, still was telling my truth. Still. And, oh, why you be telling all your business? Because this is going to help somebody. Like I told you in my previous video, when you know your purpose in life, you cannot avoid it. You cannot act like you're just not going to do it because your life is not going to turn out the way that you want it to turn out because you're not doing what you're meant to be doing in this life. Okay? I'm a person that literally can handle an immense amount of emotional, psychological, physical pain. Even though I'm able to do that because I literally have been through a fuck ton. And I'm able to go through the fire 5,001 times at 1,000,000 degrees and still walk out unscathed because that's the favor that has been placed on my life. Have I always wanted to be able to be like this or have this strength? Fuck no. Literally, I have attempted to check myself out of here multiple times and it did not work. I remember I was what, 13 years old. This is when her estranged husband initially started touching me, and I was so zoned out, y'all. Trigger warning, self-harm talk about to come into play. I literally was sitting in the living room in that house on Patterson Street watching cartoons with a box cutter digging into my veins. Literally. Do you know how mentally warped you got to be as a kid, taking a box cutter and literally digging in your skin, trying to make it happen? And a lot of you know, this box cutter was not dull, babe. It wasn't dull. This was not my first time doing this either. I'm trying to end it all while watching cartoons in the living room on a regular weekday. And you wanna know what the lady that gave birth to me said when she caught me doing it? She took me upstairs, continued to berate me, and said, "Oh, you were cutting the wrong way. You were cutting horizontally. They can still stitch you up. You should cut vertically next time." Did that bother me in the moment? No, because you have literally been damn near feeling like assisting me in my early descendant from the treatment, you know? But nevertheless, that's like a little, like it was just so much going on. And today I got vindicated. The little parts where I was just like, well, I don't know why this happened, answered. I just got answers and confirmations and yeah, this and absolutely. And I remember that, and finally, in good company. When I tell you, it felt like a weight was lifted off my chest. Was I still going to tell my truth regardless? Absolutely. That's why I started this shit. But to know that somebody else is actually telling the truth with me. My story was like this. My truth was like this. The confirmations was like this. And today, it did this. I want to cry now. I want to cry now because I was crying out for years. Years. I don't care what anybody on my maternal side of my family. I've had a conversation with everybody, graphic and in detail. Sisters, cousins, aunts, they knew. Who helped get me out that situation? Aside from my grandmother, no one. No one. The people and then in response to, well, not response, but a little tidbit from the video before this, I was taken out of so many people's lives because guess what? She kept in contact with her enablers. Okay? But the people that would tell her this was wrong and the people that she actually hid the abuse from, because she was very good at that. I was talking to one of her childhood friends today that basically helped raise me as well, that loved me down to the ground, that would do anything for me probably to this day. She said, "You know what's crazy? I seen the marks on you that you're referring to in your series, but she never exhibited that behavior like around us towards you, and now yeah." Wolf in sheep's clothing. And mind you, I had Stockholm syndrome, baby, starting young. Manipulated, gaslighted, starting young. So no, I wasn't saying nothing because I want to protect her. For one, I want to protect her because I'm just like, you're my mom. You're supposed to love me. You're going to love me one day. You're going to love me one day. I know you're hurting me right now, but you're going to love me one day. That was my thinking pattern as a fucking toddler. You're going to love me one day. You're going to see I'm smart one day. You're going to stop hurting me one day. You're going to choose me one day. Okay. I'm going to talk to you in a couple days. Yeah. Okay.